I think we are. I think we are up. Check us out, guys, to make sure that we're good on. You can be able to see us on YouTube. You can see us on Facebook. You should be able to see us on TikTok. And as we continue to be able to do these things, we're jamming with you. Please hit me up 827-0111. Are you getting double feedback? Are you seeing two things? Are you seeing two things come at the same time? What are you seeing? Is everything good? And let me know exactly where we are. We're trying to make some modifications so we can be able to accommodate you accordingly. I'll put everything on there. We're going to be talking about what we're talking about from a national standpoint and being able to do these things and see exactly what's what. So please forgive me. We're going to be able to bring the show right in right now. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. If you're out there and you're looking at us and you're seeing me, don't mind me. We're doing everything we can to be able to make these modifications and identify what we have to. We are today, for the first time, being able to go live on TikTok. Well, first time independently. That we're trying to be able to do this thing going live on TikTok. You can see us on TikTok. You can be able to see us around the world. And you could also be able to see us on YouTube. Guys, you can give me a call or a text, 827-0111. Can you see me? There we go. 827-111. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Jaden, what's up, Jaden? I see you in a little while. I hope you're well. This is my godson. I hope you're good. And I'm being able to see these things, right? Listen, man, it's a beautiful thing that everybody is out here. We're doing this the first time, 827-0111. Let me know if you can hear me properly. Let me know if you have any feedback. Let me know if you have these issues. We're talking about national issues. This is something that I want to do on a regular basis and try to be able to reach out to a TikTok market so we can be able to get some stuff done with that. But I hope that you could hear me. Sound like you could hear me. Sound like you could hear me. We've been going live in one space for a while. Remember, you can give me a call, guys, 827-0111, 827-0111. If you want to be able to give me a call, you can be on the show also and talk about national issues from where we are and from whence we came. Had a great show last night. Had a good conversation over on The Rundown with Leslie Miller. He sat with me last evening, and I enjoyed the conversation with him. I thought it was a good conversation. I thought it was excellent. It had historic depth, and there's kind of an expansion to talk about these things. It's good stuff. I thought it was good, and I always commend him, and that's what I want. I really want to be able to have a conversation with persons who are sound in these areas. The difficulty that we have is that a lot of persons are novice when it comes to this. A lot of persons have been seeing people do this, and they get this kind of notion and this determination within themselves and say things like, well, I could do that. And then they pop up to do this, and they don't have history, they don't have content, they don't have information, and then they are sort of rambling, hearing themselves and not being able to. And I don't know whether or not I was ever in that kind of a space. I know I developed myself out of that and matured myself out of that with the right people around me to help guide me to a position to be able to kind of to pursue this accordingly. And so that's just what it is. And I have sort of sought out, because this is more than just information. This is information and entertainment and the whole nine. So this is more than just this sort of an idea of merely being able to see us in one space. This is more than that, right? Guys, can you hear me on TikTok? Can you hear me on TikTok? Let me know if you could hear me on TikTok. You should be able to hear me on TikTok. Let me look in the live show and see if I could hear me on the TikTok space, on the TikTok space. Let me see. Here we go. Hopefully you guys can see me. If you can't, if you have any issues or whatnot, please, por favor, let me know so I could know how we jamming and whether or not this is something that we're good with. Let me see. Couldn't watch live. I don't know why. I cannot see my own live. Bars, I'm on TikTok, I suppose. But if you could hear me and see me, just let me know, guys. Give me a text. All the information just popping up right there. Let's talk about these things now. There's a lot of things going on in the paper today, and I want to be able to talk more specifically about what I've seen in the paper as it relates to what's been going on with the Free National Movement. The Free National Movement seems like they're trying to be able to formulate a generic buzz, right? It's not an authentic something that actually swell from the ground, but nonetheless, we'll take it. Whatever it is, I'm sure that they'll be able to take it and move with that. But they're trying to be able to create a generic buzz. They are sort of reviving conversations and individuals who've been long gone for the organization and now being able to find their way creeping back, right? I don't want to say crawling. Crawling is too much. Creeping back into frontline politics. And whilst they're coming back into frontline politics, we're looking at this and we're determining and have a very clear understanding that there's some things that's happening out there. Let's just be very clear about what's going on now. Let's be very clear about this. All right? In the papers today, you can be able to pick up the paper, guys, if you're picking up the paper and seeing exactly what. Maybe you read it, maybe you read it, I don't know. We're on TikTok also, so we got to be decent, right? So look at this, and you could be able to see exactly what's what. So it's senior FNMs to Minnis. Your time has passed. And I think it's absolutely unfair for them to say that. I think it's unfair for Brent Simonet to take on that posture and position. I think it's unfair for Hubert Ingram to take on that posture and position. I think it's unfair for Dionisio de Aguilar in the event that he's taken on that kind of a posture and position. I think it's unfair for Peter Turnquest, who's taken on that posture and position. It is an absolute unfair posture that they have taken as it relates to being able to identify who should be there and who shouldn't be there. You need to stop. You need to stop in Jesus' name. You need to stop. Why? Because Dwayne Sands' time has come and gone, long time in his capacity as chairman, save for his relationship with the upper echelon of the organization that continues to be able to retain him because I like the boy. I like the boy. That's it. There is no other justification. There's no other reasoning. I like the boy. And they retain him in this position. They hold him steadfast in this position, and they ask him to continue to be able to move forward. Okay, praise God. Praise God, he's done those particular things, and we're grateful that, or the organization, somebody got to be grateful that he's been there at the forefront to be able to articulate the positions for the organization, despite the fact that he was dead in the waters with Loretta. He was dead in the waters at the by-election. He was dead in the waters at the election after he's already lost 3 times in a row, and all these particular things that he would have gone through, revived and preserved by his relationship when he went into the convention. Come on, man, let's just be very clear. Let's be very clear. If you all allow the democratic process to be able to take, the organization would purge itself. Can I get that? Can how I talking? If you would allow the democratic process to be able to take care of itself without this kind of this inducing, right? This emotional inducing, this kind of persuasion from an external standpoint, this kind of an external hands that continue to be able to shift the time, dependence on the clock. You need to stop. You need to stop. You need to stop it. You need to stop it. The Free National Movement has rejected Dr. Hubert Alexander Minnis. I agree with you. Minnis, your time is done in the organization. I can tell you that. Your time is done in the organization, Minnis. Praise Jesus. You're my good friend. I got no problems with you. You do me dirty like a great deal of people, but I guess I'm in good company because you do everybody like that. Praise God. Ain't no problem. I ain't got no problem with you. I ain't mad at you. I'm mad at him for being able to take on his position. I'm not angry with him for doing it. I'm not angry with him at all. I'm not angry with him at all. Okay? But I will say to you that looking at these things and making this kind of determination, we have to be clear about some stuff. We got to be clear about some stuff. The Free National Movement is inconsistent in their posture. They are inconsistent in terms of being able to deliver this information. They're inconsistent, baby. Yes, let's talk about it. They're inconsistent. And their inconsistency is that it's what good for Peter ain't good for Paul. No, man. No. What good for Peter ain't good for Paul. No. And I will have a couple conversations today. Let's read this. Former cabinet ministers from the minister administration reacted to with dismay yesterday after Dr. Hubert Minnis announced that Kalani, as an independent candidate, a move would sever his tie with the Free National Movement and upend one of the party's safest seats. While acknowledging Dr. Minnis' past role as Prime Minister and party leader, several senior figures said that his decision to break from the Free National Movement risked undermining party's unity whilst offering little realistic prospect of success in a system dominated by two major parties. Wow. Wow. Crazy. Now let's talk about this. Let's talk about this and let's be clear about this. These persons, I'm sure the story will start to roll into, hold on guys, hold on. I left my little water over there. I'm sure this story will roll into the idea of a few things. We can touch this. And we can deal with it accordingly, guys. This is the foundation. We're jamming. Don't worry about that. When you hear me live on the air, you'll know that we ain't miss a beat. And we've been here talking like this on a consistent basis, being able to jam. So let's just do it. Don't fight me. Let's continue to be able to do these things. There's a greater objective here, and we have to take these incremental steps to get to where we have to go. I know you might hear me live. How would I hear you on the air? You can hear me on the air in a hot second. Don't fight me. Let me make it happen. I tell you, I love my wife. I can tell you a little bit about, what happened today. My wife, I guess she wake up a little bit miserable. I don't know. And maybe I was a little bit on edge myself as I was thinking about some stuff that I need to do. Okay. And in the midst of doing all the things that I need to do, I don't know. I guess a little row happened. I don't know what happened. Something happened. So I'm talking with her, and I said, "Baby, I didn't know." Oh, I asked her. She said, "Lock your door." She said, "Leave the key in the door and lock the door." As we was walking out the house, she said, "Leave the key in the door and lock the door." And I locked the door, and I coming out. She was the last one out. So I said, "No." I said, "No. Find your key." Now I said no for a reason. I said no for the very clear reason that if something happens, you need to always ensure that you have your key. All right? We operating on one vehicle, my vehicle down, so I got to be able to fix my truck, right? But so we operating on one vehicle, and when I move or she moves or whatever the case may be, both of us need to be able to ensure that we got to be able to be in place. All right, no problem. This is how I thinking. Okay, no problem. All right? She mad at me. You could never help me. You never, whatever. She started rowing, right? So I said, "Baby, what happened?" Right? And she's upset, right? And I just couldn't take it. So I said to her, "Listen, all of us are in the same shoe. All of us. Every single person that you look on the road now, we need help. All of us. All of us are in the position that we're pursuing a great deal of things and we need some help. All of us. Every single person out here that get up 6 o'clock in the morning, 5:30 in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, taking care of what they have to and pursuing, we need some help. That's just what it is. A great deal of us were birthed into circumstances and situations that, weren't the best, wasn't ideal. And we imagine better for ourselves. And the difficulty and the trauma associated with that is the better takes time to mature, to develop, to acquire, to possess. It's unfortunate. It's what it is. And so this sort of a row, we row, and I said, I don't want to hear that because all of us need help. And that's where we are right now. We need help. And we're looking for help to be able to do these things. I think all of us are in the same position. So that was just sort of the prospect in these things. Now, listen. As I look at this, as I look at the Free National Movement's posture and position, I think that this is an unfair stance that they have taken to be able to bombard the gates, the proverbial gates, the walls, to tear it down and finally pull out Menace one limb at a time. I think it's wrong. I think it's absolutely wrong. And it only goes back to that today for me, tomorrow for you. Every single man in the FNM at this time, Peter Turnquest included, Renwood Wells, who they had indicated to me that was defecting from the Free National Movement and going to the PLP, which it wasn't him, it was Karen Shepherd, right? They indicated to me that it was supposed to be Renwood Wells, but it wasn't Wells, right? Not saying that he won't, not saying that he will, but this is the name that kind of floated to me, but it wasn't him, right? Every single person who has in a fixed position in the Free National Movement, especially after Michael Pintard sought and acquired the taste of victory in these particular stat and position, every single man and woman, more specifically man, in the organization right now, taste victory. The possibility of being able to really acquire a position and move to the trifecta, to the triangle of triumph, the triangle of deliverance. I don't know, whatever you want to call this, of opportunity, of growth, development, of power in the organization. I don't know what you want to call it, whatever you want to call it, right? Leader, deputy leader, chairman. They now, for the first time and forever, because when Hubert Ingram was there, Hubert Ingram decides who will sit next to him. Yeah, he decides who will sit next to him. And in the midst of that decision, this is what happens. This is what happens. Hubert Ingram decides who sits next to him. Hubert Ingram will decide who does this and who does that. But now that Michael Pintard is there, at least we could be able to get some semblance of democracy to be restored, returned, revived in the organization. At least it is a possibility that this can happen now. And so, every single one of them looking for leadership in the organization. Now, the person who did have leadership in this organization is Dr. Hubert Alexander Menace. He won. Now, they will put him in the category that he's one and done. But even as they put Peter Turnquest in the category that one and done, he found a way to scratch his way back. I can't even get an amen. To be able to find himself at the forefront during a political time right now, in the heat of battle, and being able to contribute and throw your proverbial blow for your organization right now, it doesn't come cheap. Can I say this to you? This is no easy, free situation. I'm not out here talking on your behalf and for you as an institution, as an organization, without an expectation that there is reciprocity and you give something to me in due time and due season. Everybody who throwing a blow looking for something, I can't even get away, man. Every man, woman, boy, and girl that throwing a blow for the Free National Movement wants something. They are hoping and clinging to the concept of these men and women that we put to the forefront. We expect to win. And so whilst we expect to win, I can't even operate as though we are going to lose. I wouldn't dare operate as so. I wouldn't dare operate as such. Like we can lose. Lose what? We're going to win, baby. And in the midst of that winning, in the midst of that situation, talk to me. Let's be clear about this. In the midst of it all, you know what's going to happen? Win, lose, or draw, you would have been able to be seen as someone who threw your blow for the organization. And when there's time to get some things to be distributed, you're going to be in the receiving column. Praise God for you. Let's be clear with some things, man. Let's be clear with some stuff that's going on out here. We're too casual in our posture, in our position. Let's be clear. Some things happening out here you don't want to have this kind of conversation with. But to throw away Hubert Menace, you've done every Jesus thing you can. How can you possibly tell a man who seeks to be able to run independent what to do? You ready to kick him out the party, eh? Talk to me. You ready to kick them out of the party? You didn't tell him leave the F&M. You gave him his Georgie bundle. He put on a little stick and put it. You remember the little cartoons you used to watch? He put on the stick and walk away into the sunset. He has never ever articulated, not one time, that he's not an F&M. After his articulation that he's going to be able to stand as an independent and represent for the constituency of Kalani, you know it's a problem. Minnis will capture your votes. Minnis will capture Michaela's votes. He will. He will. Now, he ain't gonna get all. He ain't gonna get all. Last night we did a calculation, and I wanted to be very clear with you. Out the gate, Minnis get 1,000 votes. Oh, no, Howard. That's 1/6 of the votes. If it's 6,000 people, he get 1,000 is 1/6 of the votes. Talk to me. Minnis get 1/6 of the votes right off the top. And as he comes out the gate, Michaela, right off the top, she got 1,200 to 1,500 votes right off the top. Bang. However, Robin Lyons gets 1,800 votes right out the top, out the gate. Right out the gate. That's the PLP base in that constituency. Right out the gate. That's the PLP base in that constituency. Right out the gate. 1,800. Boom. Hold on, guys. Let me see. You said somebody said that's the sound. Let me hear it. Is that better? No? Yeah, I gotta cut these things off. Let me see if I can turn these things down. This is another thing I has to be tinkering with. Right? Now let's be clear about something, right? Let's be clear about something. There is a fear that y'all gonna cause Michaela to lose. Michaela is going, she's gonna have a difficult time. I can't tell you she can lose. I don't know her tenacity. I don't know her determination. I don't know her willpower. I don't know her drive. I don't know her routine. I don't know her regiment. I don't know her commitment to the. I don't know how she just jam. I don't know. I don't know whether or not she's leaning on the fact that my father is Michael Bonnet. And I don't know. I don't know what she does. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know whether or not there is a prestige associated with that. And there is this sort of a feel of a legacy and an entitlement. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if you feel entitled. I don't know if you feel as though you should be getting these particular things. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. The last constituency numbers, 1,948 votes would have been for Ronnie Duncombe, and this would have been in, they just said it's September 21st, September 18th, 2021. We looked at these numbers. Minnis got 2,500 votes. At 2,500 votes, it's split now. It's split. I tell you, Minnis can go home with 1,000 of them votes, and Michaela can get 1,500 of them votes. That's what's going to happen. Telly Moss got 31 of the votes, and Rika got 323 votes in that particular constituency. Kendall Lewis, Rika Sands, Rika M. Sands, she got 320 votes. Hubert Minnis got 2,500 votes. Ronald Duncombe got 1,948 votes, and he beat them all. He beat them all out. He beat them all out. Let's be clear about this now. Let's be clear. He's not going to get that 2,500 persons right out the gate. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. 1,800 votes were for the PLP. That's the base of the PLP. Let's be very clear. 1,800 votes in that particular constituency is the base for the PLP. 1,500 to 1,800 votes is the base for the PLP in the constituency of Kalani. Kalani is registered right now for about 6,000 people. Okay? Out of that 6,000 people, 1,500 people are PLP strong. That's it. They can vote PLP. 1,500 to 1,800 if everybody show up. 1,500 to 1,800 people in that constituency, PLP strong. 3,000 people in that constituency right now or more are Free National Movement, FNMs. They can vote FNM. They believe in FNM. They have a possible lineage and connection to the UBP. They are connected some way to the oligarchs in this country. Maybe they are a part of some affiliations thereof of the White Knights. Maybe education has been able to kind of cause them to find their way out to the outskirts of the city, where they used to live in the urban center of the city. Now they move to a rural area and pursuing education and a calmer life and so forth and so on. And now they gravitate towards the FNM. That's just what it is. I don't care how you kind of calculate this. That's what it is. These people, they've made a determination that the PLP has always been an organization that continues to be able to amplify and look for this relentless and perpetual suffrage movement. Talk to me. I'll just be very clear. This relentless and perpetual idea that we are a socialist organization. We are drying every tear. We will do all the heavy lifting. And this is just the language, posture, position of the PLP. I talked to Leslie about it last night. Didn't go into depth and detail, but this is just what it is. The PLP is synonymous with these particular concepts. They're synonymous with we are going to help broke Negroes. And whether you identify yourself as a broke Negro or not, maybe you were a broke cracker, not in a bad way, maybe you're broke Conky Joe, however, maybe you're broke San Negro, I don't know, because we have all variation. Maybe you're broke Creole Negro, I don't know, whatever variation you are, and you identify yourself with that, then you are a part of this socialist concept that encompasses these quote-unquote broke people. Proverbial broke people. We ain't gonna call you actual broke. Yes, you are financially and economically challenged. And as a result of your economic and financial challenged posture and position, the PLP has always been the organization that is assisted. That is just historic. That's what they do. The Free National Movement has always been an industrial organization that looks for business and business prospects and being able to identify. That's why they call them the foreign national movement. That has been the language and the coining term of those who oppose the Free National Movement. They call them the foreign national movement. Okay? And as a result of this kind of a posture and being able to identify those things, when you get education, when you hit a lick, when you find yourself out of this, when you want more for your children, when your eyes have been open to the possibility of what life can offer, and you've been able to amass something for yourself to move out of the inner city, to move from the outer space where you had nothing or little into a space that you have a little more, yeah, it is a bit better. And what you do as a result of that is you change your philosophy. And so you shift. Because I am no longer in that kettle of fish. I ain't broke. You're talking to me. I ain't broke. I got money. Your friends change. Your position change. Your political philosophy and ideology shifts also. And so a lot of those persons on the outskirts vote for the Free National Movement. But voting for the Free National Movement pales in comparison to why we voted for Neville Wisdom. Why did we vote for Neville Wisdom out here? Neville Wisdom represented growth, development, articulation, relationships. He is a personable guy. He's a great politician. And he's a businessman. He's a businessman. He actually has his flower store and other business ventures that I may not necessarily know about. But I know that I know his wife, and we always just get flowers from them. My mother knows them. Everybody, we go in there, we hang out with them, we heal them. Okay? Voting for Neville Wisdom wasn't necessarily voting for the PLP, and they could have seen that. I'm trying to get somewhere with you. Voting for Neville Wisdom wasn't a direct indication that we will be voting for the PLP. Voting for Neville Wisdom was a personal choice that those persons made, and they could make that choice. They chose Neville Wisdom. Voting for Hubert Alexander Minnis was more than just a personal choice. It aligned with the newly found ideology or the traditional ideology, whatever category that you fall in. It aligned with the ideology of the organization that we are encouraged, based upon our environment, to go out and be a part of. It aligned with a great deal of these things. Talk to me. And as a result of this alignment, Dr. Minnis is also a relentless entrepreneur. He's a businessman. He is trusted in the community. He's birthed over 5,000, you like to say that, birthed over 5,000 of persons, and many in private capacity. That means that you had to have money to go to him. So he had significant relationships with those persons around him, and intimate relationships, because he's OBGYN. Don't get more intimate than that. Amen. Praise God. He know all your intimate parts. He know you. And through conversation, through trust of him being able to take care of your most intimate parts. As a husband, he took care of your wife. As a wife, he took care of you. He saw you through this kind of a space where you had one foot in the grave and one foot in the land of the living. And brought many, many persons back, and was able to ensure that a great deal of persons can walk around here alive now. Dr. Minnis. This choice was a choice that was close to the heart. This was a meaningful choice for them. And they chose it. And then they chose him again. And then they chose him again. Because he's the man. And I'm sure that the second time they chose him, it wasn't even an idea that he could possibly be prime minister, not just yet. They were content with the fact that this man was the minister of health. And he would have been able to contribute in these particular areas. They were content with that. But now he became the prime minister. And to see what they do to Dr. Minnis, oh my God, no, they're wrong. Dr. Minnis come out the gate with 1,000 votes right off the top, bang. Out the gate, 1,000 votes out of the gate, bang. Michael got a run of the record of her daddy. Hubert Ingram and Michael Barnett and every Jesus body got to go walking with her, or get one of them golf carts from Sebastian and ride around with her. Something like how Hubert Ingram would have ridden around North Apico after the storm with Perry Christie in one of those golf carts. Yeah, they can't walk no more, but they can get around to you. They can get to you. They can get to you. They can get to you. Let's be clear with this, man. Hubert Ingram deserves an opportunity. Hubert Minnis, I'm sorry. He deserves an opportunity. Let the people in his constituency send him home. The FNM has done their worst. And he has detached himself from the organization. And as a result of this detaching, you still seek to cut us behind. I don't understand why. You still seek to cut the man behind. Why? You done do your damnedest. You done all that you could do, and you still won't beat him. Why? But dare I say, you understand what's going on. You know if he win, he could still take over the FNM. You know that. You know that. Listen to me, I can call some names to you right now, and I can make you to understand something. Okay? Marvin Dames. Now, I didn't ask them to say nothing. I didn't ask them to refute this. That's your business. If you want to refute it, that's your business. We could row all day till Jesus comes. If that's what you want to do, let's go. Ellsworth Johnson. Shannon Cartwright. Dwayne Sands, Andre Rawlings, Adrian Gibson. This is when he would come to my mind, and they see nothing heavy and nothing I do. We can make a separate category. On the side of that, we can put Peter Turnquist. I would put, I can make this almost like a shell company, and over all of these people, I'm going to put Hubert Ingram. Okay? Every single one of those names that I've called has a desire for leadership in the Free National Movement, whether they articulated it or not. Out on them. Okay? If man is judged by the outward appearance and God judge your heart, I cannot read your heart. But oh my God, I could see your body language and your outward appearance has said to me that you're preparing yourself for something greater. And I don't discourage you. In fact, I encourage you. I'd love to see it. I believe that the FNM has to be able to burn and fall into its own ashes and rise like a phoenix. Renewed, revived, restored, refreshed, repaired, and prepared to rebuild. That's it. These are no conversations that you will have going into a general election. But Hubert Ingram said this to you. Hubert Ingram said this to you, and none of y'all fight him. None of y'all fight him. Not one of y'all say not a word to Hubert Ingram when he took on this position and being able to talk about these things. Thanks so much for dialing the foundation. This is Howard Grant. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm calling in reference to Dr. Minnis and the avalanche of negativity that he's getting
It's
after
avalanche.
the avalanche of hate that
Yeah.
he's getting, um, just to be saying that he's finished and he's done, he's finished and like old, mash up paper. After the fact that after he is officially announced, I guess, that he's now going to run as an independent, no longer trying to fight for leadership of the FNM anymore. He's left them, he's resigned to the fact, although he said he still has love for the party in reference as far as Successor Wallace Field and the philosophy of the FNM. I don't, what you deduce it to be is exactly on point. There's a fear. There's such a fear.
They're scared.
I wasn't expecting this much
Every one of them
pushback because
scared of Dr. Minnis. They can't beat him. They don't have his money. They don't have his experience. They don't have his ilk. They scared. They scared of him. They don't. They listen.
but the
Listen. When you see Brent Simmons take on a posture to indicate that he should go home, why Brent even saying that? Why Brent even saying that? Don't even make any sense.
put yourself out of the way to say this, and you are the one who is mashed up and has had your time, and then you have like the
Brent could have been
PDP
prime
press.
minister. Brent could have been prime minister of this country. Save his hue, his skin color. That's it. The PLP took on a language and a posture that fought him down from a racial standpoint and revived the idea of the UBP in the people's mind. And Hubert Ingram, in his wisdom, decided to ensure that we could keep Brent as an advisor and keep him into close proximity and to use him for the forward movement of the organization and still use the legacy of his father. If Hubert Ingram was smart in being able to do that, was a good move. But Brent couldn't move forward, not because of his incapability, not because of nothing else other than the PLP keep reminding people this boy is a UBP. That's it. And Brent,
I mean,
because Brent
I
couldn't get forward, and out of nowhere, Hubert Minnis comes, acquires a position, and being able to do those particular things, I feel like there may be some level of animosity there, especially how Hubert Minnis cut off the traditional arm of the organization and didn't follow the lines that existed before. Everybody else did this, Hubert Minnis. Why you ain't do this? I don't have to do that. Big problem.
yeah, but I see. This is so ironic to me because, like I said, during the convention, yes, you fight for your leadership, you battle it out. They do it all the time, when conventions, persons who dare challenge leadership, because you feel as if you have something you want to offer, it's done.
Yeah.
Okay, he lost.
Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Miss, for whatever reason, he lost. But
Yeah.
now that he's resigned the fact and he's now focused
Yeah.
on running his race, they're now, it's like, okay, it's like you in a relationship, right?
Right.
And you and this person together, and you carry this man to war, you all whatever, woman, whatever, to war. And then you finally say, okay, I go on, I give up. I buy you flowers, I buy you a house, I buy you this. You don't want me. I go on.
Right.
I find somebody else, a guy headed, and the wedding plans are already set.
Yeah.
While I'm on my way to go to the church door, you coming on the side of me, throwing rock on my head, throwing whatever you can do, trying for me not to enter that church. What is it? Do you want me
No, all
to,
it is
to,
that
to
old saying, is the old adage, misery like company. My wife tell me if I ever leave her. That's what she tell me. She say if I ever, well, first she say, well, you can't never leave me, no woman wants you. I say, okay, that's fine if that's what you think. All right, right? I said, guys like me all the time. You need to know this, right? So she said, who, you? I said, and I probably get married again, right? And I can invite all your family, I can invite you, right? So I tell her, right? So she said, you, I will make sure you miserable every Jesus day of your life. If I can't have you, no woman can have you. Every day I can be by you. I said, baby, what you gonna be by me for? I don't want you no more. We finish. We finish.
to have you.
We finished. We
And they
will
want you to,
never be finished. And I said, oh
and
my
they,
God.
right, and they don't want, and I think, and they don't want you to have that level of happiness again, that feeling again. And another way I'm looking at, like you said, with the numbers, of course, it's a numbers game. I said that before, but I think too, a part of that numbers game is that the main heart of the Kalani, those Life Keys, that side, that's been cut into St. James. That's extra work that has to be done with them. That's a lot of work that has to be done with them as well.
Listen,
Persons who you understand, so that's a lot of work. She has a van. She has
Menace
a
was
bus.
supposed to be done long time. Listen, let's go now. Let's talk about this. Menace had already been beaten long time. Loretta already didn't have him out. She already had a position in the House of Assembly. She had already started she was already leader in the House of Assembly. She'd already done all these particular things. She already didn't get people to turn their back on him. She did all she could do. He retained the position in the organization. As leader of the organization, she was leader in the House of Assembly. She put all her Senate in. She made Branford McCartney. She made Rodney Monker senator. She did everything to be able to show her posture and position. She believed that her ALC relationship and her finances and ability to do these things could be able to place her in the position of being able to acquire the first prize. She probably could have tasted. I can be the first prime minister in this country. She could have tasted that. And Menace did not bow out. You hear me? Menace did not bow out. This man was a stubborn mule. Like you would be beating one of them mules all day and he wouldn't move. Menace did not
Don't
move.
forget Sans now. Don't forget Dr. Sands with Loretta.
Dr. San's gone with Loretta. I said this the other day on the show,
Until convention.
right?
Until convention.
The night of the convention, Dr. Sands left Loretta on the stage by herself with a little starfish, and he was up in the room saying, please, 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 please. And Hubert Ingram, based upon what I'm understanding, was there, and other men were there trying to say to Minnis, please give the man an opportunity. I tell you, Minnis did not choose Dr. Sands. You forget Dr. Sands was the first person to leave the cabinet.
See, but see, this whole thing, like, last night was good with Mr. Miller and you with so much history and things that persons may not have even realized or knew that happened, or persons may have forgotten. It was a real very educational as well,
Yeah.
But this thing runs so deep. It runs so deep, and the thought, because even the people who are pulling out their long knives and doing all of these things now with Dr. Minnis, right? These are the persons who sat with him in cabinet a couple years ago. And because Minnis wasn't perfect, Nana. Wasn't no angel.
Of course not.
He was
Of
not
course not.
perfect.
Of
He
course
he
not.
did some things.
Of course
He
not.
had the whole just about everybody against him because of a lot of decisions that he made. However, you have persons who were with him who made some dumb, and I'm going to use that word. I'm going to continually use that word dumb because of the statement that Dr. Sands made in reference to the hospital. Dumb.
Yeah,
Who
but
lost his seat in cabinet because of a dumb dead dog decision that he made. Okay? These are the persons who served with alongside Dr. Minnis in cabinet. Although he might have been the first one to bounce or whatever, and among others who left, they're using decisions that Dr. Minnis calling him all sorts of things. But they made some decisions, some key decisions alongside Dr. Mills, because mind you, there were only certain very few persons who served in that cabinet who were able to do certain things with Dr. Mills, and now they're using the same stick to beat him with. So I guess it boils right down to politics, power, and persons who wants to attain something or get something if they want to be successful in the upcoming election. But like I said before, this is going to be this seat up here. Dr. Minister, I'm going to thank him. I don't thank him much, but thank him for making this. This is going to be one of the most exciting
yeah,
races for those who live to see it in this upcoming election. But
I
Howard,
agree
I'm
with
going to
you.
cut short, and you take care, okay?
I appreciate you. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for your telephone call, man. Listen, I can be very clear with you. I can be very clear with you as we talk about these things. Let me see if I can get a couple texts, guys. I think you can hit me a text 827-0111. 827-0111. Yeah, some of them. A lot of them also secretly jealous of Venice becoming the prime minister, where people like Brent those could not. There's a text is coming through, right? No, I just want to be. I just want to be clear with y'all. I just want to be clear with y'all, okay? I don't know whether or not Brent has a jealousy. I don't think Brent is jealous about anything. They don't have the kind of money. They don't have that. If anything, that there is a legacy issue. The idea of being able to retrieve a position and be able to vindicate his father. Right. This is how I look at it from an external standpoint. There are a lot of rumors that exist, and continue to be able to float about Pop Simonet and what he would have done or didn't do, or so forth and so on. And though this generation of people may not necessarily know this, right? Though this generation of people may not be abreast or adept to the issues that suffer these particular things, we may not necessarily know. However, it still lingers with him, his brothers, and his family. It still lingers with them. And it's important that despite the fact that we have these finances, that we could be able to, whatever the proverbial mud that was slung on our name, that we could be able to rinse that clean. And we can do that. And this is why I do what I do also. I can say this to you. When my mother, the Free National Movement, cut some seats, okay? I think it was 40 seats, right? Either maybe 41 seats. I think it was 41 seats, right? And 2 seats get cut out. Kendall get cut out. My mother get cut out. Verne Grant, right? And so when they cut out Kendall and they cut out my mother, they did not have, the Free National Movement did not have that grace. They did not have that kind of a familiar posture, that family-oriented posture, that the respect of being able to sit down with Kendall and sit down with my mother and say, this is what we're going to do. Nor did they give them the opportunity to be able to represent in various constituencies. You see how Carlton Bow was in a particular constituency. Carlton Bolek was in a constituency, and then he said, okay, let me go in this. And, you know, they gave him that kind of an opportunity to be able to make a determination where does he want to go. That didn't happen. That didn't happen with my mother. They cut 8 Mile Rock out. They made it West Grand Bahama, and my mother was out. Hubert Ingram showed up in the parish hall at St. Stephen's Church and say, I know you will do this for you, you do this for me. I want you to vote for. They didn't even allow the process to take place. He brought who he wanted. He's always done this. He's brought who he wanted. And Rosny seconded, and somebody else in the back there seconded. Rosny passed away, right? God bless the dead. And Roscoe passed away also, man. I'm supposed to say that to you guys. Roscoe was a Sanders. He was a Sanders. He passed away, man. We call him Sco out of 8 Mile. My guy. When Hubert Ingram did that to my mother, everybody called my mother the village idiot. I was so upset. I was disappointed, man. How you could call my mother the village idiot? Everybody was talking bad about my mother, all in the punch and everything. Talking bad about my mother. I reading all these things, you know. I don't say nothing about it. I reading all these things. And I'm mad at my mother. Mommy, how you could let these people say these things about you? How she could stop that? I don't know. But I'm so angry, I need to tell somebody, no, man, why this man do this to my mother? Why he do this to my mother? That ain't necessary, man. You don't do this to people. And she didn't lose the seat of 8 Mile Rock. She didn't lose. Why did you do this to my mother? Why? Why you didn't have the grace? Why you didn't have an opportunity? My mother could have been able to sit comfortably in her pension right now and know that she served her people of 8 Mile Rock. 8 Mile Rock people voted for her, and they would have voted for her again and again and again. You ain't do that to Lindy. You ain't do that to nobody. Why you do that to my mother? Why you do that to my mother? That hurt me. That hurt me. These people was calling my mother the village idiot. Now, my mother's name is a least name. Talk to me. You want to talk to like this, but we can talk like this today. What time is it? 1:33. All right. We can talk like this today. My mother name, Grant, is wrapped in her DNA from her grandma, from her mother. My grandmother was born a Grant. Okay? My grandmother's father is called Charlie Grant. We used to call him Daddy Grant. Okay? So my mother's mother is a Grant. Her name was Merlene Grant at birth. She married a Smith. She became Merlene Smith. My mother's father is a Smith. So my mother was Verne Smith. Okay? My mother got married to a Grant, and the name came Verne Grant. Now, the Grant for my mother's name is a lease name. She don't own that Grant. She don't own that Grant. That Grant belongs to me. I'm the offspring of a Grant. That Grant is mine. So when you say Verne Grant, you really mean Verne Smith. But when you say Grant, you mean me. You can't talk about my mother like that. You mean in me. You trying to be able to identify and put to sully the name, the last name of my mother, to make all of us look like we stupid. And you know better than that. We grants. We good, decent business people. We take care of our business. You're always voting for Nico Grant, and people say Nico ain't even. Praise God. I ain't telling you. I've been in the park a long time, and you could tell I just hang around old people. You could tell. And I could tell you some stories. Because they told me who belonged to who. And I ain't got to get in that. I ain't got to get in that. I'm simply saying to you, the grant that you're always trying to sully, that you rejected, that you did not have the grace and the respect to speak to, belonged to Howard Grant. Me. Not even my daddy. Because my daddy Grant was born in Turks Island. Oh, Jesus. You didn't get nowhere. I get nowhere with you. I can't get nowhere with you. My father's father is a Grant from T.I. But when they give birth to me here from a second generation Grant, and I connected on all two sides, all the fights is my fight. And you're talking about Grant, you're talking about me all the way. We get to deal with this. So you talk about my mother, and I never liked that. I never liked that. Never liked that. Never liked what Hubert Ingram do to my mother. Never. I come to understand this is what politics is. And, you know, despite the fragile nature of my mother, despite the fragile nature of any woman, this is just what you're going to have to deal with and what it is. However, we also got some get back to get. He wrong. And I did everything, my articulation, my insight, my study, my determination, my identification of being able to understand the ebbs and flows of politics, to be able to know how to articulate that and regurgitate the information and provide it to the Bahamian people, all because this man bothered with my damn mommy. He wrong. He should have never bothered with my, and I won't cuss again, I won't be decent. He should have never bothered with my mother like that. He should have been decent. All of us would have been good. He would have never had no problems with me. Now, well, Howard, why didn't you leave Hubert Ingram alone? What the hell are you leave him alone for? Look what he did to my mother. And look what they did in 8 Mile Rock. Look what they tried to do to Hanim. Huh? Look what they tried to do to Hanim. Are they stupid? Everybody in 8 Mile Rock know us. This is who we are. This is what we just do. The man came to me yesterday and saying, how are they looking at you? I said this, right? He said, how am I looking at you? Are you family to a Grant, Mr. Grant? He owned a laundromat right out here, I think it was West Bay Street. Shirley Street or West Bay Street, he was telling me, right? So I say, I don't know, I'm from 8 Mile Rock, I don't know nothing but nothing around here in terms of history. So he said, yes, there used to be a Mr. Grant. Oh my God, you look every bit him. Oh my God, he was such a pleasant man. I knew him when I was young. And this is what he telling me the story. He said, I knew him when I was young. We would go there to him. He owned the laundromat. We'd go there to him to get ours. So I said, he looked like me. He said, well, every ounce you, Howard, because he's my damn family. And I got family who's Grants who own laundromat and wash house, even in New York. For some reason, these Grants like to open up laundry. I don't understand why they want to clean everybody's place, clean everybody's clothes and this and that. I don't understand. I know so much Grants who own laundromat. We are industrious people. We are people who are part of the community, part of business, part of the development of these particular communities. How the hell are you going to do something like that to my mother? So I'm trying to do everything I can do to be able to make you to understand that the village idiot did never come from my mother. Never. Because if she was an idiot, that means make me idiot junior. And I know idiot. Your mom is not in the bad way, will be decent with you. I is an idiot. Never. She only could beget an idiot if I was an idiot. That's it. That's it. And that's where we are. And that's how we have in this kind of conversation. We got to be very clear. We got to be honest. We got to talk with transparency, with honesty. We got to be able to open up ourselves with clarity and say these things. How can I possibly do these things? How? I got to shoot straight with you, man. I believe that that's what Brent Simonette is doing. I believe Brent Simonette's desire is to, one way or another, despite this acclamation and the acquisition of relentless, perpetual, ever-expanding success in our society with his banks and other ventures that he's doing around here. Despite all of that, there is a lingering indifference socially, right, about how people perceive him and his father, or, you know what I mean, his father's name. I don't blame him. You get to fight for these particular things. And I believe that that is his motivation, articulated or not. I believe that that is his social motivation to be able to clear up some things. Everybody has motivation. Money ain't always the motivation. Everyone has a motivation to do some stuff. And I'm only looking at this and I'm saying it's quite possible that this is the reason why they have this kind of a motivation. Let's be clear about it. Let's be clear about it as we talk about these things and identify that. I think Peter Turnquest is wrong. I think Brent Simonette is wrong. I think anyone who decides to be able to, especially after you would have taken all the measures necessary within the confines of your constitution and the power that you wield within your organization to oust Minnis, and you did that successfully, you have brought him to political and social shame. However, Minnis don't know how to be shamed. He don't. He don't know how to be shamed. If he knew how to be shamed, it would have been done with him long time. Loretta would have been our prime ministers. The country would have been in a different position entirely, but Loretta would have been in a position where she acquired a great deal. Minnis would not stop. He would not stop. I watched a little interview with him and his wife sitting side by side, just asking questions. And they was asking him a question: who's the stubborn one? And he pointed to himself, and his wife pointed to him. He's a stubborn man. And I keep trying to explain to people, you could never acquire and amass wealth and riches and success in this life if you're not stubborn. If you're not stubborn, who the hell you gonna listen to? You never had nothing, sir. You know how much money I have? You know how much success I have? You know how much business license I have? You know how much things I've done before? What the hell you do? Why should I listen to you? Why should I listen to you? And tell me stop. Stop what? Are you crazy? That's just what it is. You have to have that kind of relentless focus and determination to get this. No successful man has ever been able to acquire something by being mediocre. You got to be stubborn. Your head got to be hard, and you got to be thick-skinned and determined to move. Minnis possesses all those qualities. You don't have to fear, man. You don't have to fear. You don't have to fear. I don't know if he ever trying to come back to the Free National Moment. I think that time is come and gone. I think you'll sully his reputation because of your indifference, and because a lot of you are bitter because of the by-election that he chose. Yeah, but there's duality there. Minnis, you never did what you were supposed to do, and that's why people would never let that happen again. You promised to God that you was going to take care of the people, and you never did. That's just what it is, Minnis. That's what it is. You didn't take care of the people that you were supposed to take care of. And you know, two ways about it. I don't disagree with your stance and your determination and your position, and I believe that you will be successful. If you don't win, you come second. I know that. I know that. I know Robin Lyons coming, and she can work hard in that constituency. She can put some things down, and she can get over that 1,800 threshold. If she get 400 over the 1,800 threshold. Let's get she get 2,200. Robin is going to win. If she get 400 over that, you got to get 1,500 on the top of the 1,000 that you walk in with. You got to get 1,500 on the top of the 1,000 you got to walk in with. That you walk in with. Minister, that's not going to be the easiest thing for you to do. That's not going to be the easiest thing for you to do. How do you attract these people? By making these jokey TikToks and dance trends and all these particular things and believing that the youth vote is going to be able to take you over the edge? All right, just give it a shot. Let's give it a shot. But the power of decision making and the authority that exists in the organization is still a maternal quality. And mommy them still is make decision mommy, what I can do with this? If your mommy got your passport, she got your damn voter's card too. I mean, let's just be very clear about this. If your mommy got your passport, she got your voter's card too. You think you can go to your mother for your voter's card and you can go vote for who you want to vote for? How the hell you can do that and you live here? You live here, baby. We voting PLP. We voting FNM. We voting. Yeah, I believe liberty exists in those particular spaces and there's a level of empowerment there, but there is a tradition that runs through this country. We're not going to let our children make a stupid decision. You think all two of my babies, my first two babies, vote in this election. That means you got 4 votes. I got 4 votes. I got 4 votes. I got my vote. I got my wife vote. I got my son vote. I got my daughter vote. I got 4 votes. Oh, how would you know have the 4 votes? You can't tell your children what to do. I ain't got to tell them. They flipping no, not the bad way. And I ain't got to tell them who to vote for. I can tell them who the hell we ain't voting for. Amen? That's how it's going. I ain't got to say, I think you should vote for this guy. He's a great guy. He does this, and this. He'll be excellent as our member of parliament. And then you go, Jordan, look at where you voting this, eh? I don't care where you go. Other than that, don't bother with that. These people are no good at it. They never provided anything. Their philosophies are skewed. They're not aligned with the greater objective of country. This is a selfish posture. You think I got to go through all of that? I ain't through all of it. Yeah. I ain't getting through all of that. A very clear conversation. Very clear conversation. So I say all that to say, leave Menace alone. Worry about your own things. Worry about your own party. Michaela is going to have a hard time. She's a novice in the area. Her only claim to fame is her father. That's it. Lincoln Deal would have been ideal in that particular constituency because at least he would have walked with Menace for years. And the people are familiar with him. And now this aspirational idea can come to life by being able to give the young boy a chance. But no one knows Michaela outside of her father. He's a big fella just like me. And I don't got no time to be walking to 15, 20 houses a night. I don't care how much I love my daughter. Listen, baby, give me a WhatsApp. Let me just send a little message out. Send it to all the people around. Hey, I remember you about what? What? Let's be clear with this, eh? Let's be clear. Leave Menace alone. What the fella say? Leave Brittany alone. Leave Menace alone. Leave Menace alone. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. Let him do his thing. You didn't kick him out the party. How you gonna get into people? You didn't kick me out of your party. How you get my business of what I should do and I can't do no more? You ain't wanting to do with me. Leave me alone, baby. Leave me alone. Let me live. Let me live. You want me to die? They want you to die, die, die. That's what they want. They want you to die. But you didn't die, Peter Turnquest, when you left the cabinet of the Bahamas. Dwayne Sands definitely didn't die. In fact, Hubert Ingram became his doctor and hit him with a defibrillator like nothing else. Couple times. Bop! Clear! Bop! Clear! Bop! He get a political... Listen, this man, I don't know, is a political paralytic right now. He didn't have the whole political Passover stroke, the whole thing, everything. People, because all he's doing right now is dribbling on the side of his mouth politically. Yeah. Vegetative state with the hopes and aspiration. Listen to me. Superman with a man named Clark Kent. When he hit that tree and he was in the wheelchair and he had to do everything with his mouth and move the wheelchair. But you remember that? You remember this guy? He is in a better, or was in a better position than Dr. Dwayne Sands right now politically. Politically. And I want to have a very intimate conversation with you if you would afford me an opportunity. I keep trying to figure out why would you go to Bamboo Town? We can save that conversation for tomorrow. Why go to Bamboo Town? Why go to Bamboo Town? We can save that conversation for tomorrow. We can save that. I want to save that. Why go to Bamboo Town? I got some insight. And I got a theory. Minister hits out at the Free National Movement candidates changing seats is on page 5. He said that I am staying in Kalani, unlike many others who have ran from their constituency to another. See, your problem is none of y'all know when to shut up. None of y'all. Everybody getting in everybody else's business. Nobody's focusing on their own position and committing themselves to the things that they're supposed to. They're getting themselves in everybody else's business and being able to have these conversations. It is sickening. It is sickening. Now, let's read a little taste of minutes in these last 2 minutes that we get. Is the former Prime Minister Hubert Minnis took shots at the Free National Movement candidates who, after holding office in certain constituencies, are now seeking election in different seats, right? Namely, Dwayne Sands and deputy leader. So that's the deputy leader and the chairman, Dwayne Sands and Shannon Cartwright, right? He said, regardless of how they cut it, I'm staying in Kalani. Unlike many other, that ain't what you said though. That ain't what you said, Minister. You say you have to see, and then you'll make a determination. And you decided to be able to stay in Kalani. Yeah, that's what your decision was. But that wasn't what your articulation was. You didn't say that. That's what you did, but you didn't say that. You made us to understand that there's a possibility that you can look at St. James or Kalani. And you decided to stay in Kalani, okay? And he says, when he confirmed his plans to run as an independent candidate in the next election. When asked who he was referring to, Dr. Minnis declined to name specific candidates, saying that their decisions has been repeatedly highlighted in newspaper reports. Pressed further on how views about candidates leaving their former constituencies and said, I don't know if individuals are running. They must be afraid of something. They have to inform us what that fear is all about. But I'm not afraid of it. Several FNM candidates seeking election in constituencies other than those they previously represented. Free National Movement Chairman Dwayne Sands, former Member of Parliament of Elizabeth, losing his seat in 2021. And the general election, Joe Beth Coley in the Progressive Liberal Party, Travis Robertson, who served the Free National Movement Parliament in Bainstown. In 2021, he lost the seat in general election. Mr. Robinson is now seeking to win the Fort Charlotte constituency, and Shannon Cartwright, who is a sitting member of Parliament for St. Barnabas, has been ratified by the party and a candidate a newly created St. James constituency. Dr. Minnis has represented Killarney since 2007. Now, Dr. Minnis, stop it, okay? Let's just be very clear with you. I want you to stop, okay? First and foremost, they fear getting beat. Stop it. They want to retain a particular position, just like how you would have been able to do with your finances to retain these positions. These men may not necessarily have that financial reach, and they may not have the structure in that constituency to do some things that you would have done. There's a different mindset that exists in Elizabeth. There's a different mindset that exists in Baintown. There's a different Bains in Grantstown, right? There's a different mindset that exists in the constituency of St. Barnabas. These are almost inner city spaces. And the mindset is quickly to shift. You're in a secured position. You're a wealthy person. And that's why you were able to retain that position. You would have been there. You would have been looking for someplace to go to. Trust me. Or else they would have cut you behind the same way. The people ain't got no time to talk no foolishness. Either that or you'd have been broke. Let's shoot straight. I don't know what you're saying. Let's shoot straight. I don't know what you're saying. Don't pretend with this. Let's just shoot straight, okay? The reason why, and I got to look outside to see if somebody was coming. The reason why you could be able to find the success is because of the mindset, not because of you, because of the mindset of the people out there. They're content with you in terms of your push, your representation, your entrepreneurial endeavors. You are a model citizen and model politician in many instances. My children could look at you and say, okay, I've seen his success. I've seen his steps that he's taken. I've seen how he's represented. I make some better choices than this. But, you're a model in your particular capacity. Great. Great. But don't do that. Don't do that. Shannon Norn cannot beat Michael Halkitis. But Shannon Norn can beat Michael Pintock. Oh, Jesus. Shannon Norn cannot beat Michael Halkitis. Not in St. Barnabas. But Shannon Norn can beat Michael Pintock at a convention. There's a possibility that he can. There's a possibility that Shannon Norn can. So for Shannon Norn to be able to get to the convention, he at least have to be able to have a fighting chance. He does not have a fighting chance. Not anymore. He's expelled his last kilohertz of energy in the constituency of St. Barnabas. And he's lost favor with the people. They didn't tell me, I don't want nothing to do with it. Trust me, I ain't walking with him. I don't want nothing to eat. It's just what it is. I walk with him when he first won. And the exuberance of the people, and I meet people and create fans. Going right back, looking for these people. I talked to them at the convention of the Free National Movement 2024 when they asked me to come there. And I did the interviews and whatnot. I spoke to these people at the convention. And while speaking to these people at the convention, I came to a very clear understanding of something. Let's be very clear with something. These people didn't want nothing to do with Shannon Norn no more. No more Jesus. They didn't want nothing to do with this man. Nothing. The people who walk with him didn't even want to dirty their mouth to talk his name. They didn't to say his name. There are many different reasons why Shannon Norn needs to move. And for him to be able to retain a position and to be able to amass a political wealth, knowledge, experience, tenure, like many other persons have done, he may have to look at another seat. Travis moved from Travis. You had a better chance of being able to try to go up against Wade Watson. Wade Watson. The review coming in on Wade Watson has not been, the absolute best. It has not been. But the review that the people gave, they couldn't wait for you to come back and be in a grand town. The night before the election in 2021, I saw you, Travis. I say, hey, Travis, what's up? Hey, Howard. I say, how things with you, Travis? He say, everything good. I say, that ain't what the people telling me on the ground, Travis. He said, don't worry about that, Howard. They say anything. Trust me. We can cut some behind tomorrow. We can get I can win. I'm going to win my seat. No, you didn't. No, you did not. And the people can't wait for you to come back to being down to cut your behind again. It's where you live. It's where you live. So that was silly. I think that Travis has something to be able to offer the Free National Movement in terms of his youth, his insight, his tenacity, his reach, his capability, his determination, his focus, and his the posture that he is a company man. Now, what a company man means is that he would always go with the party. I get with the party. I get with the party. And as a result of him going with the party, this is what it is. This is what it is. You see? Excuse me. And lastly, Dwayne Sons can't beat Elizabeth. Joe Beth. Yeah. The night before the election, Dwayne Sons and I did some work for them. So I'm scared looking for my check, right? I had to get must be 6 checks that night. I did some work for some people, right? I did some commercials, some this and that, and so forth and so on. I did some independent campaign stuff for some people, and I was looking for a check. And so I went for my check. I went to him. I went to a couple of other cabinet ministers. There's about 6 of them that owe me just a little piece of check. It wasn't in the top, but just a little couple of dollars, right? But I'd already extended them an opportunity to be able to do some stuff. And, they say they can pay me later. Okay, no problem. And so I was looking for my check. Because if I don't get my check tonight, Delia wrote the note. That's it. Delia gone. One more round. Delia gone. That's gone. I can't get that never. I was up and down feverishly, calling them, texting them, calling them, texting them. This was during COVID too. Dwayne Sons called me over. He said, come get the check from here. I said, okay, no problem. I come by him. I had to sit way in the corner. He sit in the next corner. And we just started to talk. Right? I said, boy, this is what I tell him. I said, boy, if it wasn't for Hubert and we were putting on your shirt, the people tell me he was gone. He said, Howard, listen. I'm going to win this. And I deliberately and specifically chose not to say some things. It's just what it is. But I will say to you, no, the people tell me the volume good. Somebody texted me and saying, Howard, volume. But the people tell me the volume is good. So the volume should be good. Right? I will specifically and deliberately keep some things away from you and not mention that. Okay? Not mention it with this kind of enthusiasm to tell you what he said. But nonetheless, he said, Howard, I'm going to beat her. I am going to beat her, with such vivid expression of how he's going to beat her. You would think he knew and he saw a victory afar off. Excuse me. The night I sat down with him, I said, but that ain't what they tell me. Sans, they tell me you will lose. And the only thing that could help save you is Hubert Ingram. No, boy, Howard, I can win. That's okay. I take my check. Praise God, I got my check. The next day, defeat. For him, defeat for Travis. You're not going to be able to win in those constituencies anymore. And if you're looking for tenure and an opportunity to be able to stretch your wings in the organization, to show them what your capabilities are in preparation for future leadership, get out of the constituency. Get out. You remember that little get out thing? He said, get out. You better get out, or else you'll be in a sunken place. Get out. Don't worry about no minutes. You worry about minutes and what minutes got to say. Get out. You're still young. You're still capable. You're still articulate. You're still qualified. You're still desirous. You need a good chance. Travis need an opportunity. Shannon need a real opportunity. Dwayne's not in a bad way. He could always be in an advisory capacity and an executive capacity to offer something to the Free National Movement. Yeah. Get up. But I don't know why Dwayne think he can win. Bamboo Town. I don't know what indication Dwayne believe he can win. Dwayne, all I tell you is that your uppity. Let me just fix it for you. And this ain't a bad thing. I don't say this to be negative. After this, we can shut it down. I don't say this to be negative or say something negative to you. I won't be clear with you. I won't be clear with you. This is my wife calling me. She won't know if I finish. I would be finished at 2 o'clock. I wrap it up right now, baby doll. Sorry. I won't be clear with you before I get out of here, Dwayne Sands. I really respect you, man. I don't want you to think I do. I don't want you to think that I am this kind of an idiot. I respect you, man. I really do. I don't have to say that to you. I could, I really don't respect some of the things that you've done. I do not respect the fact that you see politics as a game, but you decide to play dirty in certain instances. And I could identify those particular, and even most recently, with people who ain't got nothing to do with you. But I don't respect that. But you as an individual, for you as a man who honed in on your craft and did everything you had to do to be able to develop that, that's an honorable thing. That you stayed off for years and you have studied and you committed yourself to being one of the best in the region, one of the best possibly in the world. That is truly an honorable thing. And I'll tell you a story. Every time I try to do something else, I get fired. And God keep pushing me towards radio and pushing me towards speech and pushing me towards the development of these things, and the amount of doors that have been opened for me, for this radio station, for this, for that, and all these things that people would think I know someone, or but this is just favor. This is God say go do this, and when I show up or I make a call and they say, what about boom? They was waiting on me. is because that's the area that the Father has for me. This is my anointing, my gift. This is for me. Your gift exists in the hospital. Your gift exists in surgery. And that gift is not an everlasting gift. It only can be used within a finite window, because as soon as your hand ain't steady no more, we can't use you. And you know that. You know that. You know that. I don't have to say that to you. So there is, in a way of being able to transform and to move in the direction that God has called you in, and to change lives and to help families, you got to use your hands to do that. They say, you're not an OBGYN, you're a heart surgeon. Yeah. Anybody could pop out a baby, cut the umbilical cord, slap the bongi. I mean, not anybody. I'm just saying that this is not the intricacies involved in childbirth in comparison to heart surgery. It pales in comparison. Especially how we've never known the child. This is essentially a blank slate that we will develop and grow to love. But our loved ones on the table, who we've had relationships with, who is possibly a father or mother or someone's child, whatnot. It's hard. It's hard. And there is a hope and expectation that you could retain the man or woman that they've become over the years. So the two divisions within the same profession, they pale in comparison. There's a talent that you have on you to do what you do. And you let New Birmingham tell you every Jesus thing other than go back to the flipping hospital. Everything you let New Birmingham, Divine, you know you can do it. Divine, I know you can do that. You know, people always tell you. Dwayne Sands, you are a doctor. And in this country, you are a doctor's doctor. You are highly respected, highly educated, highly skilled at what you do. You are a poor politician. Poor. Your articulation is poor, and the decision that you've made to be able to pair this posture, this degree that you have, and place that in a constituency of middle working class people. At best, upper working class people. Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. I ain't dissing you if you live in the constituency. I'm simply saying. Upper working class people. Lower middle class people. And you go in that constituency and you try to use colloquialisms and dialect, and you try to be able to change the cadence of your speech and be able to grow a little beard to show yourself down with the cause. This, sir, is weird. It's just weird. It doesn't feel comfortable. I think you should leave politics. You ain't got nothing to prove to you with England. I think you should leave this alone. If you want to give your advice from afar off, you do that. But this has not panned out well for you. You have changed the man who you are because of politics. Because of the relentless bombarding about what you would have done or didn't do, or what they think you can do, and how you this and how you that. You've become incessant with being able to try to right all your wrongs socially and try to make people see things differently. It's just not going to happen, Dwayne. It's not. But no one could deny you your surgical knife. No one could deny you your theater. No one could deny you your scrubs, your position, your education, your insight. No one can deny you. You got to choose ye this day who you will serve. The God of purpose in your life, which is your, listen, you thrive and you flourish. You know God in that. You know that there's an anointing on you to do that. There is an anointing on you to do what you do in the hospital. No one can do this. People who don't like you got to come see you. But when you get on the political battlefield, every single wrong step to be made, you step in it. And you like to equate your savvy in the theater with your savvy in the trenches. Sir, you don't know nothing over here. But I wouldn't dare step into that theater. All the best to you, man. If you won't go ahead, even if you win, you only win by default. You still ain't got nothing to offer. You ain't got no insight. You only get relentless chitter chat and jabber associated with this kind of it's a dumb idea. That's what you got. Oh, it's a dumb idea. Just trying to be able to connect in one way or another. Hey, guys, I'm hip. Kind of thing. Oh, it's a dumb idea. It's a dumb idea. When you was in the damn hospital and grandma had black sludge water all over the place. You was supposed to build a hospital in the back there. You ain't do nothing. You ain't do nothing. Accident A&E was for the longest time. You had nothing done in these areas. It's a dumb idea. In the middle of the ideas that you were supposed to be doing, you'll get yourself fired for being able to bury a dead dog. That was a dumb idea, but you did that. This for being able to do something stupidness with Q-tips and all these things for COVID-19. All this is dumb ideas. Stupid. Asinine. You did it. But to build a damn hospital for mothers and children, that they don't have to be able to lay on the floor for cosmetic relief associated with what's going on with the overcrowding and finding things in the hospital, that ain't a dumb idea. Hey, let's pump $100 million into this facility and $58 million of that dollars going on the remediation of mold in the building. You need to stop it, Jesus God Almighty. You need to stop. Just saying a bunch of stupidness. I could never talk to you like this in your theater. Never. You think any of us forget that you stand up in front of the judge and the judge condemn you? Give you a tongue lashing as a grown man, professional. And as soon as you step into politics, and you can't see this, you don't have the grace within yourself to take a breather, to go quietly, to go find yourself in prayer time and ask God if this is what you want. You all have made Hubert Ingram God. You all think he's Jesus Christ. If he say it, that's it. That is not it. You have to ask, Lord, is this what you call me to do? Am I doing what you require of me, Father? Am I aligned with the purpose that you've called me to? You have rejected God. And you sought and seek after your own pleasures and the ideas that you have within yourself, not knowing that this is not for you. I do not care if you win Bamboo Town. You're still a poor politician. You do not have vision beyond what you can do in the theater. You just don't. You do not have vision beyond what you can do for your family. You just don't. That every man has their portion. That's not your portion, sir. Every man has his or her portion. You know, time I try to get into politics, I'm saying, you think I can sit down and get cut behind for politics all day? I casually say, man, look here, Guardian, let me go. Let me go try to open up a radio station. I casually said, no, I lied to you. I was working on this long time. I was just going to incrementally do it, and money come to me to do it. Money come to me. Money come looking for me to do this. And so I take the money and put it down. People come looking for me. Favor come looking for me. I know that this is where Jesus Christ called me to be for now in this season. Every time I try to talk about this idea of getting into politics, something has gone crazy in my life. Every time, I think I got time for that. I got time for that. The devil is un mentira, a liar. You better go before Jesus Christ and leave the altar of Hubert Ingram alone. Leave it alone. Hubert Ingram ain't gonna always be with us. You ain't gonna always be with us. I ain't gonna always be with us. But I can tell you one thing. I commit myself to what God has called me to do. And I seek out his will for my life in quiet spaces and fasting and prayer and trying to be able to move myself away and knowing that my life and my living is not in vain. Not to be able to be another coin within the satchel of those political sycophants, that they could be able to say the collateral that I've had and I still have is as a result of people like this man doing as I say when I say. Stop it. That's the show today, guys. I want to thank you so very kindly for being able to tune in with us. We was on live on TikTok and live on YouTube today. So we're going to try to be able to do some more stuff with you as we continue to be able to move forward. All right. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. God Spare Our Lives right here on the foundation. But you can check me out tonight. I'm going to be live this evening right there on ZNS and the Rundown. So we can check you guys later. All right. You guys have a beautiful evening. We'll see you again.
I have a dream where the powerful and the powerless will sit at the same table, where the haves will see the have-nots, not as burdens, but as brothers, where class will not divide us, but conviction will unite us. I have a dream that the oligarchs will remember we must all eat, that the brown-faced neo-colonialists will remember who they are and whose they are. I have a dream that fraternities will build beyond internal architecture into a national bond, that the walls of design will give way to the bridges of brotherhood, not a fraternity of symbol, but a brotherhood of substance. I have a dream that we remain focused, that we stay in our conviction and remain fearless, that we double down, fortified, to return this Bahama land to the foundation.